So, summary for long-term growth. We can look at the combined ATO Thomas margin. We see Kroger's is what? Let's first look at the trend. The trend is down, definitely, from 10% down to 6%. That's pretty dramatic, isn't it? From over 10% to down below 6%. That's a fairly steep decline, driven by decline in margins. This is a similar decline we see for Safeway. And the two firms are very similar in both trend and level. Wouldn't you agree? Don't they look very, very, very similar? The trend looks pretty much the same. Safeway is much more volatile. The trend looks the same, and the level, my word, in the first 3 years, you can't even tell the two companies apart. But what he knows about 2011, until 2011, where Safeway moves ahead. Kroger's needs to address this margin issue. Now you could, in this, if you want to add some creativity, say, you know, we know Walmart is an incredible competitor and has been expanding greatly. That's probably a big part of what's going on here. We also know that Amazon is starting to get in a grocery store. So these two, Safeway and Kroger, these are the old stores, right? These are the ones that have been around forever. Not too much exciting to say about them. Can they survive this new onslaught of Amazon and Walmart? So maybe this is just competitive pressure. You could, if you want to be creative like that and add those kind of comments, you could be absolutely wrong when you say it, but as long as it's reasonably consistent with what you're doing, that's fine. You can add those kind of marks. I'm not going to come back and give you an F because it's, no, I looked up an article and that's not true. That's not what's happening. No. If it's reasonable, it's off the top of your head. On an exam, you don't have much research. You know, on project one, you're not going to go back and research for 40 hours. You know, so use your best guesses on that. All right. And my final summary, looking at ROE. Let's look at ROE and let's see what's going on there. You notice I just ignored the tax impact. It's around 65% or so, so I'll just ignore it. I don't say anything about it. So look at return on equity. One thing we can say is their return on equity has been significantly better than Safeway until just 2011. We see, well, we first should talk about the trend. So the trend in ROE, we see a decline from a little over 20. It's a little hard to see there, so let's look here. We see a decline from over 20% down to 15%. From consistently above 20% to just over 15% in 2011. This is an issue, especially, and this is the hard part to put in. This is a little complex, but especially given the growth in the combined financial leverage. Because what do we know about financial leverage? More financial leverage should help your ROE. Here they have more financial leverage and their ROE is actually coming down. That's pretty bad. All right? A bad combination. More leverage, lower ROE. Versus Safeway, we see a similar trend, though 2011 Safeway has caught and passed Kroger's. Now, one thing you can definitely do on the exam, especially if you're doing it by hand, is you don't have to write Safeway if you want to. You can just write their symbol, SWY, and that's a lot faster. It saves you some time. So we notice Kroger has consistently been above Safeway, very consistently until when? 2011. I don't know if they passed them, but until 2011 has caught, I won't say Kroger's, pass, I'll say caught Kroger's. So my final assessment is Kroger's shines on asset turnover. But serious issues are there related to growth and debt and the declining margins. All right, took me 45 minutes to do that. Can we hit the off button here?